All right, welcome everybody. Let's talk about what happened in the market today. Of course, today, a lot of traders, it's funny, it happens almost every time. The market kind of sits on the sidelines, right? You get this really small range prior to the talking heads at the Federal Reserve before they do their I call it the fear of missing crap meeting, the FOMC. Get it? Fear of missing crap, because that's really all they ever spew is crap. Excuse my language, but it's just true. We're approaching, like, in a short amount of time, we're gonna have $40 trillion in national debt here in the United States of America, and these clowns act like they're doing us all a favor by, oh, we're not gonna raise the lending rate. See how generous we are. We're controlling inflation or whatever, or blah blah blah. These guys are idiots. Most people I know are struggling at least a little bit in one way or the other because prices are just ridiculous. And these clowns, I say it every time, they have these fear of missing crap meetings. The market is pretty idle, during the morning session, waiting for these boneheads to, wave their magic wand, and then everybody's gonna start trading, It's like, oh my gosh. I don't trade around. I don't worry about what those boneheads say. Yes, I know it impacts the market on that specific day, but that's all it really does. It really just impacts it for an hour or two on that day. That's all it does. But everybody acts like it's the most important thing to be listened to ever. Oh yeah, yeah. Let me tell you something right now. They don't control the market. I know a lot of people think they do, but they don't. Now, do they illegally dabble in the market with their friends at BlackRock? Yeah, they do that a lot. It should be illegal. The only thing those clowns over there, the only federal thing those clowns should be doing is federal prison. Get it? Because there's no such thing as Federal Reserve. It isn't federal anything. Because the Constitution is clear, and I said it before, the U.S. Treasury is supposed to be handling the money. All money goes in and out through the U.S. Treasury. So, why is it these clowns over the Federal Reserve don't ever allow, and the Senate always blocks this, by the way, why don't they ever allow there to be an audit of the Federal Reserve? Since the history of the Federal Reserve, there's never been a full audit of it, ever. That's like since the 1920s. There's never been a full audit. I mean, anybody ever heard of running a business without auditing your books? How about your monthly checking account? Do you at least look at it and audit it, make sure it's in good order, make sure there's no charges on there that aren't supposed to be on there, right? The basics. But no, not these people. No. They're all, the entire United States of America for the last umpteen decades is supposed to trust these clowns that they're on the up and up. Give me a break. I mean, these people are criminals. I guarantee that the books are cooked at the Federal Reserve. They've been handing money to the Chinese, to this nation, that nation, their buddies over here, their buddies over there. They got so many lending and BS programs, illegal operations going on in those books. I mean, those books have been cooked so many times. They're like, the what do they call ramen noodles? Probably not pronouncing that right, but those noodles are like crusty, burnt brown. That's how bad cooked those books are at the Federal Reserve. And BlackRock, Federal Reserve authorized BlackRock to go into the stock market, or any market for that matter, and do these shenanigans, which is completely illegal, but they do it anyway. Oh, you've been authorized. These people are all crooks, man. The House of Representatives, the Senate, the Office of Presidency, with this joker sitting up there who can't remember his last name, or even the man can't articulate a full sentence. He can't find his way off a stage. This dude is, oh my gosh. You know how a wheel has, most cars have like 5 lug nuts to hold on the wheel? This guy's got like 1 lug nut. He's just got 1 lug nut. It's barely on there and the wheel's wobbling bad. That's what's in the White House. The criminality is so high in the United States right now. I'm sure it's all over the world too. Down there in Argentina, I think it was. The guy took over as president, had to take desperate measures to control runaway inflation and, the banana republic they got going on down there. So I know I'm a little off on a tangent here, but this happens every time these boneheads speak in the Federal Reserve. The market waits idle. Let me tell you something. Do you see the $1,150 I made right here? This was before the boneheads talked on the market, talked on the Federal Reserve boneheads talked. That was all before. And once I was a little bit busy, I probably should have taken advantage of that little, that massive run up after the magic wand was waved by the corrupt ones in the Federal Reserve. But I was busy and I didn't really get a chance to trade it. But we don't need the Federal Reserve, guys and gals. I'm just telling you that straight up. They should be completely dismantled. All right, and return the responsibility back to the U.S. Treasury where it belongs. So anyway, let's talk about this $1,150. It was a good day. I made a trade last night. I started the session off last night in the futures with a $100 scalp. And then I made a trade, I think, in the morning session, about another $275 because it was kind of tight range until after the Federal Reserve speech. And then there was a little pullback. We'll look at that here in a little bit, where I made the most of it. I think it's like $600. And then there was one more trade in there I squeezed in there somewhere. So $1,150. My goal is minimum a day is 1,000. But I'd like to shoot for 2,000. But today just wasn't possible because of whatever. Just not every day you can't do it. It's just the way it is. All right, let's take a look at the charts and we'll talk about the weekly, the daily, and then I'll talk about the trade of the day, which I'm going to show you a pretty good opportunity there too. Okay. All right, so here we are on the weekly chart looking at the S&P 500 futures. And look at this, guys. Got divergence going on. This thing wants to do this, okay? Now, this week's been strong. And I said last week and the last couple days, today's Wednesday, I said if this finishes green strong like this, then this is going to be in jeopardy of this cycle low. Yeah, it may not really show up. So I know there's 2 trading days left. And we're going to see how this plays out. This week's pretty important. If this stays as strong as this is right here, we'll see what the third week does. Just going back, usually when you get a down week, right? Every time, like here's a down week, the next week's red. Down week, next week's red. Here's a down week, but it's way on the left-hand side. Well, these cycles could be a little bit off back. No, these cycles are good back here, actually. So, and then you got a green one, and you just tracking sideways in the middle of this cycle. We're not in the middle of any cycles over here. We're at the end of them. Kind of at the left-hand side of this big one. But here's one. Even though I talked about this before, this one's a little early on this green cycle. Like it'd be over here. But this is a little early. But, you could see this kind of behavior. Okay, this, the next one is red. All right, we get this one's kind of peaky, which reminds me of this all-time high right here. Then we get the red one, then we get a really, this was perfect. Just what you want if you're looking for a cycle low. It doesn't really matter to me whether it has a big pull down to the cycle low or not. I'm going to trade whatever the market's going to give me. But when you see a cycle low happen and it has a strong impulse into that cycle low, that's a little bit easier to trade. So right now we don't really have that strong impulse. Thursday, Friday, things could change. Okay, but we'll see how it goes. Right now, on the weekly chart, long run, more long term, this looks like the market wants to definitely come down, and I think it will. Now, whether or not it's going to do it right now into January 14th, that we have to wait to see. Next 2 days are going to be kind of a big deal. All right. Let's take a look at the daily. Now, here on the daily, we had a pretty decent day here, obviously, with a range of 42.5. Okay, it got up, I thought, after what the Federal Reserve was doing their thing. I thought we might see all-time highs today. It didn't happen. You can see right here on the daily chart, this has got some room to go, right? I talked about this last week, I think it was. I said that over here was running out of gas and the market might have a bounce. Well, there it is, guys. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just like I said. I said that last week. I said we may get a bounce Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday in here. So Now we're going to see what Thursday and Friday does. Does the market kind of run out of gas, or does it continue to go up? The daily chart says it's going to continue to go up, but that may not be the case. Now these dates move by one date. Sometimes that happens. This was the 8th, now it's the 7th. Check this out, guys. Just talk about cycle analysis, especially for new members. Well, look at this cycle here, this green cycle. The projection, this has been on here a long time, by the way. The projection was for the daily chart here that there was, at the time it was January 8th, but here it's January 7th, that there was going to be a cycle low. Well, what day was this? The 5th. This was within 2 days. I projected this from way over here, way back in December. So the projection or the forecast for the cycle low was January 7th, and it turned out to be the 5th. Guys, that's really good. If you can get within a day or two of the cycle on the daily chart, that is extremely useful. You can trade this, right? You can also trade that. You can also trade with some pretty good confidence as it's busting higher because you know where the cycle low is going to come in. So especially for your new members or people that don't know about cycle analysis, that's how powerful this is. I mean, this is so much more powerful. I mean, I'm not going to knock Elliott waves. I know there's some members do Elliott waves. I don't really particularly use Elliott waves. They're not very predictable. They change a lot. I mean, they change a lot. 1 wave, 2, 3. Oh, that changed. Now it's a 4 or 5. No, now it's not that. It's constantly changing. So it has a lot of, in my opinion, a lot of too much unpredictability. Okay, cycles do change too, but they tend to stay in place a lot longer. So that's really nice knowing where the cycle lows are. They don't change nearly as often as Elliott waves. That's why I don't really do the Elliott wave thing, because I make a lot of money doing cycles. Well, not only cycles, but cycles help. Okay, so this I think was this. I think this was the 17th or the 16th, and now it's the 18th. Because sometimes it'll move again, like January 1st and Christmas made the calendar move a little bit, so we did a couple dates change here just by a day or two. So this is the projected cycle low, January 18th. Okay. My thoughts for tomorrow, based on some data that came in tonight. Okay, I don't normally share this. I usually share this only in emails, but once in a while I'll share it publicly. The universe data that came in tonight suggests that tomorrow we would see more price increase. Okay, and if that's true, we'll probably eclipse the all-time high tomorrow. Okay, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, guaranteed, blah, blah, blah. No, it's not guaranteed. I'm just telling you that's what my data is telling me, all right? Okay, so that's that. Let's take a look at the trade of the day. All right, so here we are on the 5-minute chart. Now, when I talk about the trade of the day, sometimes I'll talk about my own personal trade of the day, or just my own personal trade, which could be more than one trade, but I just mean my own personal trades of the day and my final profit or loss for the day. Okay, and then I talk just generically to the members, and obviously to the public here, about a good trade of the day, where I see it. And sometimes that may be the same trade I made. Okay, but right now we're just talking about generically speaking. What does, obviously this is my service, and these are my indicators here, the Get Us Plus indicator. What does it say about the best trade for the day? Okay, there was quite a few opportunities here looking at the 5-minute chart here. Okay, this one here at, let's see, was this 8:30, 8:40 my time, right here. This was a nice little trade right here. If you took it on this candlestick right here, let's blow this up a little bit more. See if I can make it a little bit bigger. Make it a little bit bigger. You take this trade right here at 8:40, this red candlestick, because you get the signal on the green one. And look at this, guys. You need, I talked about this before as well. You need to understand candlestick behavior and candlestick patterns. That's a doji sitting up there like that. It has very kind of an evening star look to it, okay? You need to be aware of that kind of pattern, because that's helpful information. When I'm looking at this trade, yes, the Get Us Plus indicator is telling me there might be a trade here. Okay, I'm looking at several other things at the same time. I get this doji that has kind of an evening star look to it. Now, at this point right here at the end of this candlestick, as it closes, I don't know what the next candlestick's going to do yet, right? We just know that this is a doji. That's powerful information. Okay, that's a sign of indecision in the market. Okay, obviously the GILS Plus indicator with its logic is saying there might be a trade here. And then you got the SMI. Well, look at this. Very peaky, right? This time it was what? Sitting up here around 86. I'm looking at this number right here. All right, look at that. 86, 84, starts curling over 77, right? Right there it's 84. You could go back one that was 86. It gives us the GILS Plus indicator comes up and says, hey, there might be a trade here. Next one is 77. It's game on. Okay, so there's a lot of information going on right here, just all happening within one or two candlesticks to help you make a decision, okay, to whether or not you should be making, whether or not you could possibly make a trade, a profitable trade, okay? So anyway, an entry right here is really good. Okay, and this entry was, let's just say we got out to open 48.05, 48.05 right here. Well, look, it came all the way down here to 47.95. And even a little bit lower, but I'm just counting these lines here, right? Just thinking in fives here. You're going to catch probably those 2 fives. That's 10 points. That's 10 points. That's really nice money right there. Okay, obviously it comes down, it runs out of gas, starts turning up. Now, you don't have to do this short side trade. You can just say, nah, nix that and wait for it to run up. And why do I say that? Because the MACD was in positive territory above the line. So for new traders, you don't have to take this short side trade. I would, I'm been doing this for quite a while. I would have no problem taking some profit here and then taking some profit here too. Okay, but for new traders, you might be nervous, or new members to the service. You're nervous, you're not sure how to place a trade here. Okay, keep in mind that the MACD, this is the granddaddy of momentum indicators, it's above the zero line here. And you're going to get this on the streaming chart, so pay attention to the streaming charts and the membership, okay? It's well above the zero line, right? That's zero here, and this is above. So at this point, when this indicator came in, it was already, the MACD was already in positive momentum. Okay, you could see it kind of rising here, right? It's definitely widening and getting starting to rise. So, this is fine. You don't have to take this trade right here on shorts. You don't have to do it short side trade. You can just wait for it to bottom out, and once it begins to curl up in this area right here, boom, go long, and you're good to go. And that one's like, maybe 6 or 7 points in here. Really nice, super simple trade. You're going to make at least a few bucks off it. It depends what you're trading. I don't know if you're trading options, you're trading E-micros, maybe you're trading E-minis, whatever you're trading. Okay, there's opportunity there. Okay. So that's another way to play this. So this would be the safest. This is the safest one right here. This one down here, and curl up because MACD is positive, and you wait for it and you catch this little run right here. That's the safest trade right there. Coming off of this indicator telling you something's up. There's a trade coming. Me, I'm short-siding it. I'm waiting. It curls up. I get in again. I close the position. I might get in again, especially if it gives me a couple of candlesticks. I'll probably this candlestick right in here, somewhere up in here. I'm going to get in again. I'm going to enjoy these 4 to 5 points in this area and get out. Even if it's 3 or 4 points, I don't care. I'm still going to take it. All right, so that's a really good trade of the day right there. And of course, this thing just went ballistic after that for the rest of the day. Okay, and you can tell, I said to the members, today was a little bit tougher trading day because momentum was positive the whole day. Now, some people kind of shake their head, well, what are you talking about? Why is that a problem? Because look at this. This is positive momentum, right? We all agree, and this is true, I think, on most of the charts for the 15-minute chart as well. But we're looking at the 5-minute chart here. It's positive momentum all the way to all the whole day, actually, from like right at the market opens up at 8:30 for me here in Texas. So from that point on, it was positive momentum the whole day. It stayed above it, even all the way to the market. The market closes here, the intraday, and then futures kept going. Even it stayed positive momentum. Okay, well, some of the challenges are that this never actually gets down to the bottom line, the fast-moving SMI, Stochastic Momentum Index. Yeah, what you really want, like to give you that big confidence is like this. See how it came all the way down from way up here, came down, touched the bottom line, went up again? That's great. Those are great signals. Those are really nice signals to get. When it doesn't come down and touch, you're like, the entry, you have to kind of delay your entry to make sure it really is going up. So you sometimes won't catch as much profit. So you have to just kind of navigate the market a little bit differently when momentum is really strong like this. You have to wait for the pullbacks to finish, okay, and really give you really good confirmation. Like you might have to wait a few candlesticks to get that really strong feeling that the market's going to continue to move up, and then you enter. So you kind of give up a few candlesticks with a profit sometimes, but that's okay. Overall, with a day like this, you make huge money. Okay, you just keep re-entering. It comes down, it goes up again. Candlesticks start taking off again. You re-enter, right? So with all this positive momentum, look at all this positive momentum here. Positive momentum, right? You just avoid this. You don't want to be trading short. You don't want to be trading that, right? So when it's peaky like this, let me clear the chart here. When it's peaky up in here, especially for new traders, when you got positive momentum like this, way above this zero line, way above this purple line, just don't touch anything up in these areas, right? When it gets peaky like that, just close your positions, take your profit. So you're going to come down, you ride it up. You only have to wait for the candlesticks. As soon as it gets up here and gets peaky, just close it. Don't wait for the candlesticks. Don't even bother. I'm not saying don't look at them at all, but just close out, wait. It's going to dip, starts coming up. You get in again. It runs. You get peaky right in here, probably close it right in this area. Okay, it's another 5, 6, 7 points in this area. It comes down again. You don't mess with it. It starts to go up. You still got positive momentum going on here, right? Still way above the zero line. Right, still way above the zero line on the MACD. Okay, somewhere right over in this area, probably right in here, you get in again. And that one was, oh my gosh, that one was just rocking. So that's how I trade, when you've got this really strong momentum and it's just one impulse after the other. You have to be a little patient for it to curl up on the SMI, do your re-entries. And you can kind of see the waves, right? Look at this. Here's wave 1. This is a little bit pre-market. 2. Here's a longer one. 3. Okay. This one goes all the way up. 4. There's 4 identifiable pulses to the market today on the 5-minute chart. Right? They stand out. All right. Very nice. So that is really the trade of the day. There was some opportunities in here that were, I didn't have to worry about the GITTIS Plus indicator. This was nice to get the ball rolling, but with so much positive momentum on the MACD, you don't really need another GITTIS Plus indicator to tell you how to trade. You just keep catching the waves. You just keep catching them because the market's strong. Okay, and ignore the pullbacks. Right? Don't trade these pullbacks. This was an exception because after the Fed, the criminals at the Federal Reserve waved their magic wand, and then it had a big nice pullback, you could definitely trade that. That was totally, I'm not going to say this was predictable, but it was fairly a decent amount of confidence that this was going to happen. You're going to get the people who go, oh my gosh, the Fed held the rate steady. Everybody buy. Maniac, just a maniacs. Oh my gosh. It's just, that's like playground stuff. This kind of reaction to the Federal Reserve, it's like kids playing in the playground. They're not mature traders. I'm not saying don't take advantage of this. I'm just saying it's just, it's just like, this is like playground stuff, okay? When people react to the Federal Reserve as if it means anything. It doesn't mean anything. And this proves it doesn't mean anything because they gave it all back up. This is when the Federal Reserve got done doing all the talking. It went bananas and it gave it all back and then some. Okay, it kind of did a rebound here at the end of the day. All right, if you do want to become a member, there is a instructions, I should say, just below this video on YouTube. Make sure you read those instructions very carefully so you don't have any problems joining. Once you've done that, click on the Discord server link. It's going to bring you over to my server here, Get a Server. This is where all the membership services take place on the server, okay? And then you click on Server Shop, and right here, $7.99 a month. And what comes with the membership is streaming charts. We just saw with the trade of the day, the 5-minute chart, but there's also a 15-minute chart and a 1-hour chart. Those are streaming charts live to the members 5 days a week, okay, of the S&P 500. So when you join, you click on this, you get the streaming charts. Now, that Get Us Plus indicator, whenever it believes that there might be a possible trade, it sends an alert over to this channel. So that's super nice. You can just right-click on this S&P 500 alerts channel and set notifications on. You'll get notified. Okay. And then I don't do streaming charts for the rest of these, but I do still send alerts for these down here. That's gold, crude oil, top 30 stocks, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ. Okay. And daily only alerts will be these same stocks. But if the daily chart gets the Get Us Plus indicator that shows up on it, it'll send it to this channel here for daily. So that's good for people who want to do swing trades, okay, instead of intraday stuff. Okay, premium symbols every day. There could be anywhere from like 2 to 4 files with the symbols in here. There's future symbols in there, which I saw some, by the way, for members, I saw silver. For those that like to trade silver, silver's been popping up the last couple of days. You might want to check out the futures file in the premium symbols today, okay? So there's future symbols in there, there's optionable stocks in there, there's industries in there, and there's symbols that look like they might be getting ready to be shortable. That's all in there, okay? Currency, occasionally I trade currency futures, so if I do that, that'll be in there. Emails. Every night I send out emails to the members. And if you want to get the email, the nightly email, and you're a member, you're not getting them now, or you become a member, you want to get the nightly email, make sure you put your email address in here. Okay, or if you don't want to show up, if you don't want to give the email in that channel and you just want to DM me, direct message me, you can do that. It's fine too, okay? But just put your email in here and I'll pick it up. And you get, every night you'll get a daily chart of the S&P 500 with the cycles on there, okay, and the way that I mock up the charts, all right? Sometimes I'll put support and resistance on there as well. And I usually give a few sentences about what I think the market's going to do, okay? Fixed income, I might trade corporate bonds occasionally. If I do, I put those in there. Okay, and then here, this is general chat for all the members. If you have a support issue for email, just put it here. Okay, if you have support issue for anything else, put it in member chat, okay? And so all of these channels here, every one of these channels in this big old rectangle, these are all members only. That's what you get for $7.99, all of this, okay? Plus the email, obviously. General channel, that's just open to the public, but there's nothing in there. That's just kind of like, welcome to the server. That's all it is. Okay, last thing, rules. Please read the rules. Got to go over this every time. Okay, please read the rules. You know, please be nice to everybody. Be respectful on the server. Don't post any nasty pictures or anything. I don't want to hear any foul language. Okay, if you start getting nasty or doing stupid stuff and being disrespectful, I'm going to kick you. If you keep doing it, I'm going to ban you. All right, so don't do that. Just be nice. Also in here for the rules is the refund rules, as well as a disclaimer that I'm not a financial advisor. I only give my opinion only, guys. Okay, it's only opinion only. All right, I think that pretty much covers everything. Again, if you want to join, click on the Discord link in the instructions below the video. Then it's gonna bring you to this server. Get a server, then come over to server shop. Click on that, and you'll get this page $7.99. Okay. Hope everybody had a really awesome, profitable trading day. So happy trading, everybody. God bless everybody. We'll talk to you all real soon again next time.